She didn't carry a weapon. She didn't even stand on the firing line, but she shattered what 100 elite snipers couldn't, with nothing but her mind. How do you break a steel target at 3,750 meters without pulling a trigger? And why did every soldier on that range turn to stare at a woman who never touched a rifle? Today, you're going to hear the true story of Sergeant Adraa Voit, a forgotten veteran of a classified program who proved that the greatest weapon in modern warfare might not be a weapon at all. If you believe in honoring those who've served and sacrificed for something bigger than themselves, subscribe to Sisterhood Speaks. Help us keep these hidden stories alive. And turn on notifications so you never miss the voices that history tried to silence. Northern Montana, a secret military range surrounded by frozen hills and brutal winds. Every year, elite snipers from around the world gather for the Ultra Range Challenge, a test of precision, patience, and pain. This year, like the last 6, Lieutenant Commander Eric Novak was the favorite. A 20-year veteran, Novak had hit targets beyond 3,000 meters under nearly impossible conditions. But no one, not him, not anyone, had ever hit a steel plate at 3,750 meters. They called it the Ghost Zone. Crosswinds tore through the valley. Elevation varied with every step. Thermal currents danced in the distance. It wasn't just hard, it was impossible. And yet, this year, something different happened. Among the snipers, one figure stood out. Not because she was loud, not because she carried an expensive custom rifle. In fact, she carried no weapon at all. Her name was Sergeant First Class Adraa Voit. Standard fatigues, no unit patch, a prosthetic right hand that she made no effort to hide. She sat quietly near the observation tent, watching every shot, every miss, every calculation. The colonel in charge, a man named Price, greeted her with a nod that meant more than it seemed. "Just observe today," he said. "Understood," she replied. At 1,500 meters, everyone hit. By 2,400 meters, only a few remained. By 3,200, just one. Novak. The man moved like a machine, breathed like one too. He missed only once. At 3,600 meters, he failed. Not by much, but enough. Dust flew. The steel plate stayed whole. Colonel Price called an end to the challenge. Applause, respect, acceptance. It couldn't be done. And then, it happened. Without a shot, without a sound. The steel target split clean in half. Everyone froze. No one had fired, no rifle had discharged. The sensor showed no heat, no movement, no bullet. But everyone turned to one place, the woman with the prosthetic hand. Colonel Price didn't hesitate. "Gentlemen," he said, "meet the last surviving member of Project Long Reach, Adraa Voit." She hadn't touched a trigger in years. She'd spent a decade in silence after the military shut down its most controversial experimental program. A program designed not to improve rifles, but to weaponize the mind. It nearly killed her. Neural feedback, organ failure. Her right hand was lost in a failed trial, but her ability never left her. She was told to stop. She didn't, because she believed the ghost zone could be crossed, not with bullets, but with intent. When asked how she did it, she simply said, "You were looking through scopes. I was looking within." That day, 5 of the world's best volunteered to join a revived version of the program. Some dropped out within weeks, migraines, memory loss, hallucinations. But 2 remained, Novak and a young spotter named Khalil. Novak pushed himself harder than ever before. Nights spent staring at objects, trying to move them without touching, until one day a pencil rolled, a coffee mug jumped, and then a near miss at 500 meters. Not a hit, but not chance either. Adraa warned them. This comes with pain. Her seizures worsened, her vision blurred, her speech slurred. But she still taught. Until the day came that Washington demanded proof. Not training, not theory. A demonstration. Novak tried. He collapsed. So Adraa stepped up. One more time. No weapon, no backup. Just her. The target. 3,750 meters. The result, a steel plate, ripped in half, blood dripping from her nose, a neural storm raging in her brain. She survived. Barely. But it was done. As Adraa lay unconscious in the facility's medical wing, surrounded by flickering monitors and whispered fears, Novak sat just outside the door, still in uniform, still stunned. Not by the blast, not by the power, but by the cost. He had always believed strength was measured in results. That day, he realized it might also be measured in what someone is willing to lose. He thought back to the night before the demonstration. She hadn't seemed scared. Not really, just resolved. Like someone who had already made peace with the outcome. "You don't have to do this," he'd told her. She had just smiled and said, "No, but no one else can." The medical team worked in tense silence. Her body was strong, but her nervous system had taken a massive hit. And yet, despite everything, there was no panic in her expression when she woke. Only the steady gaze of someone who knew exactly why she did what she did and what it meant. Later, when Novak was finally allowed inside, he sat by her bed and held her prosthetic hand for the first time. It felt cold, lifeless, but her fingers twitched slightly. "You moved steel with your mind," he whispered. "But you moved all of us with your will." She blinked slowly in acknowledgement. That night, as he walked the now empty firing range alone, Novak looked toward the shattered plate at 3,750 meters. The same plate everyone said would never fall. And for the first time in his long, decorated career, he felt like a student again. Not of ballistics, but of belief. 5 years later, a team of 3 shattered a target at 4,100 meters. Not with guns, with thought, precision, unity. Today, Adraa Voit leads the next generation. From her wheelchair, with pride, with pain, with purpose. And every new recruit learns the same first lesson. The ghost zone isn't a place. It's everything we're told can't be done. If this story moved you, subscribe to Sisterhood Speaks. Because behind every unbelievable headline is a woman who paid the price to make it possible. And if you believe those voices matter, turn on notifications. It's not just a click. It's how you honor them.